I want to talk about something that a lot of men do, but I don't even think they realize that they're doing it. And I think it could be a big distraction and overall detriment to your mental and physical health. And that's competing for women. I was just scrolling through Instagram um, the other day, and I see pictures of girls that I know that I'm friends with, things like that. And sometimes I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go look at their comment section, just curious, and I see so many guys, like so many different dudes commenting different thing, like trying to be funny or complimenting them or trying to relate to them or teasing them, like just so many different guys. And to me, I'm looking at that and thinking like, all right, like what's going on here? Because like, okay, she's single, whatever, like anybody could message anything, but like the fact that there's so many different guys comment, like they can't all just be your friend, right? And if they're all just your friend, like they're complimenting you, they're teasing you, they're trying to be funny, clearly there's something else there. And this is a great example of, when you should kind of back off from a certain woman is if you see that other dudes are competing for her. You go to her comment section and see all these dudes commenting, like, you should know to, you know what, hey, this isn't even worth my time. Like, why am I fighting for someone's attention that I don't even know if I fully like? I don't even know if they're fully worth it. Or maybe even if you do, maybe even if this person is great and amazing, why would you want to be with somebody that's making you compete for affection, attention, time? You got better things to be competing for, right? If you're competing for a job opening, pursuing your goals, competing for, being a winner at a sports competition, fair enough. Compete all you want. I encourage that type of competition. The thing is, this is coming from me, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys like I get a bunch of women and I'm going on dates every week, every day. Like I sleep with like 7 women a month or anything like that. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I'm not like that. Like I don't really go out like that. I don't really, sleep around like that. I don't hook up with a bunch of girls. Like it's very rare that I even go on a date to begin with. So this is a mentality that's coming from somebody that doesn't even, is not even in abundance of relationships or women or anything like that, right? But that's my mentality because you just have to have it no matter what you're going through in life. And trust me, I've been months and months without literally talking to girls, right? I've done that, right? Especially during the pandemic, I think we all have. But even in general, like dating is hard now and I feel like maybe it's just me, but it's longer periods of time where you're just not really involved with anybody, and not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but once somebody comes into your life, especially somebody you kind of like you just automatically want to jump on them and give them multiple chances and things like that. But when I see like even as much as I like this person, if I see I have to compete with other dudes for her and her attention and her time, I don't want that. It's not worth it for me, right? I've already presented myself in the best way I possibly could. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I offer. I know the type of person I could be. And, if we know each other well, if we talked, I shouldn't have to prove myself to you or compete for anything, right? You either like me or you don't. And, whether it's a yes or no, I'm totally fine with it. But don't put me in this open competition. All right, who's going to take me on the fanciest date? Who's going to be the nicest? Testing you by, seeing who comments what. Like, you don't need none of that, bro. If you see a girl, if you're talking to a girl and she posts a picture or says something or, has multiple guys in her messages, multiple guys commenting on her photos, bro, just let it be. Don't leave a comment like the other dudes, right? If you see she's texting a bunch of dudes, like kind of fall back a little bit. There's no reason you should waste your time and energy on somebody like that because, like, first of all, even if you win this competition, do you really want to win this competition? Because, as soon as you're not playing up to par, quote unquote, she might, cut you from the team. I'm kind of using metaphors at this point, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if she has all these guys around her, right? And she's like, you know what? Fine. You win this competition. I'll go with you. You start dating this girl. Those guys are still going to be around, She's going to rope some of them into being, oh, I'm just your friend or whatever. But those guys want to, what they want to do. And it's like, it's not worth your time. You shouldn't have to prove yourself to somebody beyond being yourself. The only thing you should be doing when speaking to a woman is just, being yourself and obviously embodying all the traits that we talk about on this channel, like, being a leader, being not being overly emotional, knowing what you want, having goals and visions, but having to do anything more than that is not worth it in my opinion. If she's trying to get you to spend money, or trying to see who compliments her the most, or maybe even vice versa, who ignores her the most, like, don't play those games with her. Don't do it. It's just not worth it. And I know it's hard in the moment, because especially, again, like I said, like, it might be hard. It might be the first girl you're getting involved with in a few months, maybe years even, and it's like, oh my god, I found a girl that finally likes me, and I even like her back. But it's just not worth it, bro. It's not worth it. And to me, it's a personal turnoff. And for you, maybe it's not. But you have to look at those things and actually take them into account. And the thing is, it's not even about her talking to and dating other dudes. Like, sometimes, when you're getting into dating, you're not exclusive with somebody. You're going to go on different dates with different people to see how you vibe with them, right? That's not the issue. The issue is, after going on all those dates, you still keep those guys around, even though you might not be into them as much. If she's still holding those guys around her, and she's like, oh, we went on a date last month, and this other guy went on a date a week ago, and they're still 2 months later, 3 months later in her comments, they're obviously hoping to get something there. And the fact that you're one of those dudes is not a good sign. It's not a good sign. You don't want to be a hover. You don't want to be just standing around her, and just don't participate in any of it. Like, let it go, move on. You shouldn't be having to compete with anybody for anybody's time, anybody's affection. Like, my mentality when I see these type of things, it's like, all right, you got it. You take it. You guys can over there fight for it. I got better things to do with my time, with my energy. Like, if she doesn't like me, okay, that's fine. Because as long as I like myself, and I think that's the most important thing. And I think that's what makes everything in kind of the dating scene easier. As long as you like yourself, no matter what anybody says, rejection doesn't hurt. As long as you like yourself, you will respect yourself enough to know what you don't want to spend your time and energy on, right? And a good way to think about it, and this is kind of like maybe how you guys should start looking at it if you're having trouble with it, is if a friend did this, right, in a friendly way, right? If your friend's making you compete for time with them, right? If your friend's like, oh, but I might hang out with this person, and things like that, and like they're not giving you full attention, like, you're not respecting them. You're probably calling them out, and I'm not saying you got to call this girl out, but just you wouldn't put up with that. So you shouldn't put up with that just because it's a girl, right? Just because it's somebody you're interested in, right? Again, I'm not saying go off on her and be disrespectful. Please don't do that. I'm not saying that at all. Anytime you face a situation like this, I think a lot of guys tend to get, over aggressive and upset and start calling them out because they think that's the thing to do. That's what makes you manly, because you're calling them out on their bullshit and you're not afraid to say something. That doesn't make you a man, bro. There's ways to go about that, and getting overly emotional and disrespectful just makes you look like more of a pussy. Simply, all you have to do is walk away. And that's the hardest part, because you can't lash out. You can't express how you feel in that situation, right? It's hard because you really want to let this person know that this is some bullshit that they're doing and it's hurting your feelings. But sometimes the best situation is just to walk away. And that's okay. Once you're able to walk away from stuff, it makes you the most powerful person in the world. Once you love yourself enough, once you're comfortable enough with who you are, it doesn't really matter what this person thinks of you, and they're making you compete. But it's like, you know who you are, you know what you offer. It's like, if this isn't enough for you, if you're still making me compete, it's okay. I know what I bring to the table. I know that somebody is going to want me for the qualities I have, right? And maybe you're not the most and nobody's perfect. Nobody's got every quality, but you know your strengths and your weaknesses and your deficiencies, and you're open about that. And somebody should accept you for your deficiencies and for your strengths, as opposed to saying, okay, you got to show me more. I'm not saying women can't have male friends and things like that, but you can kind of tell the aura that you get once you see what they say and how they react to it, right? Like, even I got female friends, but I'm not commenting under all their pictures. I'm not liking all of them. I'm not, hanging out with them 24/7 unless I might want something more from them, right? If I like you, right? If we're just friends, sure. I obviously don't care that all these guys are talking to you because I don't like you in that way. But if I do like you in that way, that's a huge red flag, right? Again, women can have male friends, but it's like, even if you do get in a relationship with this girl, are you gonna feel good about her hanging around all these dudes that want her? Even if they're just friends, you see the stuff they're commenting, they're all up on her, right? How does that make you feel, right? And it's just not a good situation to be in. Even if you're able to keep it down and not get jealous, and hopefully you should be able to keep in your frame and not get jealous. But it's like you don't even want to put yourself in that situation to begin with, right? It's a red flag, bro. It's a red flag. Again, she could have male friends. Of course, it's perfectly acceptable. I know a lot of people think men and women can't be friends. I'm personally not even one of those people. But there is a degree where it's like it's going a little too far. Like, if we're dating, if we're in a relationship and you spend more time with your male friends than me, that's a red flag. If there's men out here competing for your attention, I'm not one of them. I'm sorry. I got better things to do, more important things to do, and more important things to compete for, most importantly. So I don't even think a lot of guys notice that this is happening because, you know, they'll kind of just sweep it under the rug. They're like, oh, it's a dude commenting. That's probably just a close friend, or I'm better than him. I got a better chance. You know, she was telling me all these nice things in the DM, so, you know, I must have the upper hand. No, you don't, bro. You just don't. Like, again, I know it's hard. Sometimes you think you found somebody that really connects you. You think you found somebody that really connects with you and you know, you like them and they like you back. But then you start to see these red flags, especially when it's like all these dudes in their comments, in her phone. You know, she's not even focused on you 100% of the time. It's okay to let that situation go before it turns into something worse. Trust me. Have some self-respect for yourself. Okay? And the way that you just got to look at it, and the thing that kind of just helps me is like, I was perfectly fine living my life single. As lonely as it gets sometimes, right? If this person never entered my life, nothing would have changed, right? So, you know, if I just cut them off or let the situation go, it's like I'm back to square one. Which, you know, okay, this situation didn't work out. But I didn't really lose anything, right? I lost some time, but at least I tried, attempted to connect with somebody, get in a relationship, and pursue something, right? A sunk cost fallacy. Think about that. You know, just because you invested in something doesn't mean you have to keep going with it, right? It's okay to let go. Sometimes you lose on investments. I'm sure you guys watching this video make bets all the time on sports and things of that nature. You lose bets, but you don't stop betting, right? You just take the L and move on. It's the same thing here, right? Yeah, you invested in this person, you took an L, right? But you're not out there crying about this one, you know, investment that you had that didn't work out, right? You just continue to make more, and then you win one here, you lose one. It's just how it works. And there's just no reason for you to compete, because it's like, it's just, not only does it make you look bad because, you know, from an outside perspective, you're just, you know, you just look desperate, but it also just undermines you as a person, right? It distracts you. It makes you feel like less than you are. It makes you feel like you have to do it. Just, it's not worth your time, your energy, your effort. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.